Competition is starting to get severe in the foldables sector. It's no longer just enough for a manufacturer to prove it can successfully make a phone like this. You've got to build one better and fancier than all the other players. That's bringing us not just wacky designs like triple-screen foldables, but also ones with extraordinarily tiny profiles, rivaling even non-folding gear. For months now, we've been hearing whispers that Samsung could be working on a super thin version of the Galaxy Z Fold6, and now some new evidence gives us maybe our best bet yet at when we could hope to see it emerge or not. While we've been talking about this phone for a long time now, and no one seems to be able to agree on how to identify it. Galaxy Z Fold6 Ultra, Galaxy Z Fold6 Slim. Back in late August, we heard that the phone might potentially be labeled as the Galaxy Z Fold6 Special Edition. Now some very similar branding has cropped up in promotional photos from a South Korean retailer advertising special edition pre-orders opening next month, and uploaded by ex-user Sawtooth Special Edition. The text, after translation, doesn't really say much about the phone in particular, and instead focuses on details of the pre-order period, ahead of retail availability on October 25. But is this the super thin Fold6 we've been hearing about or not? There's a product listing for Galaxy Z Fold6 Special Edition on Samsung India's site, but the hardware featured there appears to be the bog standard Z Fold6, with the same screen size and identical dimensions both folded and unfold. It's possible that this could just be something like a landing page for the time being, with Samsung intending to update it with special edition specific details closer to launch. But we also have to consider the very real probability that this is more along the lines of a particular hue than all new folding hardware. The fact that the site also advertises a Z Flip 6 Special Edition offering the same thing doesn't leave us feeling very enthusiastic either. Then we have to consider how so far all indicators of this phone point to Southeast Asia, and we've yet to actually catch a sniff of Samsung's ambitions for it in other areas. Considering the engineering effort that would go into a larger screen, thinner hinge version of its flagship foldable, why would Samsung not make the most of its development money and target worldwide markets? Or at the absolute least, emphasize that new construction while putting out the call for pre-orders. It looks that the narrowest Galaxy Z Fold, dubbed the Special Edition Foldable of Samsung, will be up for pre-order in the October 18-October 24 period, and will be released on October 25. This would mean with a Friday to Friday rollout pattern, so we might see the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition revealed in the US roughly 2 weeks and change from now. The special edition of the Galaxy Z Fold6 is rumored to arrive with a larger 8-inch inside display and a 6.5-inch cover screen on the outside. It will purportedly clock in at 10.6mm when closed, or at 4.9mm thickness when open. Thus, the thinnest Z Fold will actually be slightly thicker when folded than Google's Pixel 9 Fold Pro that Google believes to be the thinnest foldable phone in a peculiar bend, as that's only true in specific areas. In all other markets where the Honor Magic V3 will be offered, it will wipe the floor with both Google's and Samsung's foldables in terms of design beauty. Samsung apparently tried to take on the likes of Honor, Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, or OnePlus by starting to develop a foldable phone that is as thin as theirs, but more robust. This turned out an impossible challenge, so it apparently iced its plans to create a thinner form of the venerable Galaxy Z Fold line, but then reconsidered, and it will really arrive in October. When Samsung created it, however, it may have eliminated some of the capabilities included in the Z Fold6 in order to cut the production costs and make the body thinner, such a display digitizer, consequently S Pen stylus support. We're still not entirely sure what's going on with this phone, and all we can truly say with much confidence at the moment is that this story is far from done. If the predicted Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6 Special Edition is actually the slim form originally mentioned, the new book-style foldable smartphone could sport a titanium chassis, akin to Samsung's flagship Galaxy S24 Ultra. According to media sources, the smartphone may lose compatibility for the Galaxy S Pen, as Samsung could remove the digitizer layer from beneath the display to achieve a smaller profile. While the special edition device might bear identical specifications to the standard model, it is feasible that it could include a slightly larger display and a different aspect ratio for both the internal and cover screens. It is also completely plausible that the special edition model is not the anticipated slim variant, but rather features an improved camera system, enhanced performance, and other enhancements. Even though I have yet to replace my faithful slab-type everyday phone with a foldable smartphone, I admire the Galaxy Z Fold and Z Flip lineups and the stunning Galaxy Z6 series, which Samsung unveiled earlier this year. But in light of recent events and disclosures, I'm kind of perplexed by what Samsung appears to be preparing next. As the title suggests, I don't see the point of the impending Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition. By all accounts, the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition is a slimmer version of the Galaxy Z Fold6, boasting a slightly wider aspect ratio and a more competent camera combination. There's nothing wrong with that in principle. In fact, it sounds like a pretty darn nice Galaxy Z Fold6 replacement, but that's not what the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition is likely to become. According to industry sources, the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition will be a fairly specialized gadget because to its limited reach. It won't be distributed globally, but will premiere in China and probably Korea over the next several weeks. That's somewhat of a blessing in disguise for most folks who paid a small money on the technically inferior Galaxy Z Fold6 only a couple of months ago. As long as they didn't obtain the phone in China or Korea, they won't experience as much buyer's regret. But restricted market reach alone might not justify the launch of the Galaxy Z Fold SE. For a limited special edition phone, the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition sounds rather unambitious, especially in the wake of smartphones like the Huawei Mate XT Ultimate. Is it suffering from an identity crisis or missing a clear purpose? It certainly looks that way to me, at least so far. I don't see why the Z Fold SE exists. Does Samsung know? In my perspective, the whole idea of a phone with limited availability is to utilize it as a show of force and to push technological boundaries, especially if it means taking risks you otherwise would not take with a phone designed for a widespread global release. I absolutely get why Samsung plays the safe game with its mainstream Galaxy Z Flip and Z Fold lineups. These have been the most popular foldable phones globally for years, and I can understand why Samsung does all it can to prevent launching a flop with durability issues en masse. The foldable market is still evolving, and the last thing Samsung wants is to utilize a mass production phone with global reach as a testbed for new and untested technologies that pose too high of a risk of failure. It can't afford to take that risk as a market leader, especially after working so hard to build confidence in prospective foldable phone users with worries relating to durability. So, in its wisdom, Samsung chose to polish its mainstream foldable phones year after year instead of taking enormous leaps. But this gets me back to my original issue with the forthcoming Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition. A phone with such a limited availability is intended to be brave and take chances. It's expected to perform what the mainstream Galaxy Z Fold can't do in its position. And since the special edition phone doesn't seem to be doing any of that, at least based on leaks, well, I fail to comprehend its purpose. Not only does it look unambitious, but it will be at risk of upsetting Galaxy Z Fold6 purchasers in those few areas where the SE Foldable will be on sale. And while it may cost even more than the standard Fold 6, it seems a bit crazy to suppose that Samsung's primary objective is to make a quick cash by releasing this product with extremely limited availability. So what does Samsung plan to get out of this phone, if money and bragging rights aren't it? Unfortunately, I don't have the answer. No matter how I look at it, I fail to see why Samsung would want to offer this phone in this manner this time of year. Worst of all, for a special edition phone, I'm afraid it could fail to grab people's imagination more than other geographically constrained foldable handsets from other manufacturers, such as the Huawei Mate XT Ultimate. In a way, the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition seems like the safe sequel the Galaxy Z Fold 6 might have gotten next summer, and not a limited run phone that doesn't appear inventive enough. It's almost like a hybrid only Samsung understands, if that. It may be an experimental technology that plays it too safe, but in my perspective, that defeats the idea of being experimental. It seems to lack daring and loveliness, and I don't comprehend it. Who knows? Maybe I'm incorrect, or the leaks don't tell the complete story. Perhaps the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition will make perfect sense once it goes on sale, and I hope it does. Maybe it has some unknown tricks in its sleeve that will blow our heads. But until we see any proof of it, I'll keep doubting this phone's purpose, especially in a market arena where Samsung's rivals have become more aggressive and increasingly innovative. I'm definitely looking forward to watching how Samsung will try to promote this phone to prospective users in the few areas it will reportedly be available. Perhaps a full design story could provide some much-needed answers as to what role the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition is planned to occupy in the current foldable phone scene and Samsung's own portfolio. I'm praying for the best. So, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tech news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.